KGTV, KGTV, Ƙauren Gwando Television, Ƙauren Gwando Television, Ƙauren Gwando Television. Sabon gidan talabijin nan mai farin jini, wato Ƙauren Gwando TV, mai watsa labarun gaskiya a zamanance. KGTV, Ƙauren Gwando Television.
Ayyukan da kake mana ba mu ran musu ba.
Ya Allah, adan ismul a'azam.
Allah ga Nasiru nan.
Ya Allah ga Nasiru nan.
Allah kare mana shi.
Kama mai ya zama na daban.
Allah ga Nasiru nan.
Abinda ya fara ya wuce haka nan.
Allah kare mana shi.
Kowa ya zan kana cika alƙawali.
Allah ga Nasiru nan.
Ga gona nan mai kyawun fasali.
Allah
Ya
kare
mai da
mana
jihar
shi.
mu ga kyawun jaddawali.
Allah ga Nasiru nan.
Jama'ar mu zo gun samu yo badali.
Allah kare mana shi.
da kake yi ba mu masa ba.
Allah ga Nasiru nan.
Gabawa can da ba mu san haka ba.
Allah kare
Waye
mana
ya
shi.
gyara jiha ba Nasiru ba.
Allah ga
Yanzu
Nasiru
jihar
nan.
Kebbi tsari ba a cin mana ba.
Allah
Sai dai
kare
da
mana
waɗansu
shi.
da ke banna al'amari.
Allah ga Nasiru
Akwai
nan.
gwara gurbi da ke mugun ƙuduri.
Allah kare
Babban
mana
bukurin
shi.
su sa gwamna cikin haɗari.
Allah ga
Wanda
Nasiru
zai yau
nan.
haka mu ba mu yi mai uzuri.
Allah
Kowa
kare
ya
mana
dago
shi.
hannu roƙo za mu yi.
Allah ga
Allah ka
Nasiru
cire
nan.
mu na gonan mu cikin yanayi.
Allah kare
Ayyukan da
mana
ya
shi.
ɗauko Allah tanye shi ya yi.
Allah ga
Lahiru
Nasiru nan.
direban gwamna shi ya samu mu yi.
Allah kare
Ya
mana shi.
Allah a sarki idan ismul a'azam ga gwamna nan kare mu na shi.
Allah ga
Farko
Nasiru
mun
nan.
ce Allah,
Ga Nasiru
wahidi
nan.
ya Allah,
Kare mana
ahadun
shi.
ya Allah,
Ga Nasiru
samadun
nan.
ya Allah,
Kare mana shi.
alhayyu Allah,
Nasiru nan.
alhayyum Allah,
Kare mana shi.
arrahmanu Allah,
Ga Nasiru
arrahim
nan.
ya Allah,
Kare mana
almanan
shi.
ya Allah,
Nasiru nan.
ba'du samawati
Kare
wal
mana shi.
ardi Allah,
Ga Nasiru nan.
jalal Allah,
Kare
wal
mana
ikram
shi.
ya Allah.
Ga Nasiru
Dan
nan.
sunayenka a haɗin ga ƙaura Allah ƙara shi gaba. Allah,
Ga Nasiru nan.
Allah.
Kare mana shi.
Ayyukan da kake mana gona ba mu ran musu ba.
Allah.
Rana sirri nan
Allah.
kare mana shi.
Ayyukan da kake mana gwamna ba mu ran musu ba.
Ya Allah ga ana sirri nan sarki ka tsare mana shi. Ayyukan da ya kai mana mu ba mu ran musu ba.
Allah.
Ya Allah.
Allah.
Ya Allah,
Ayyukan da kake mana gwamna ba mu ran musu ba.
al'alim sarki Allah kai ne babban masani.
Allah ga Nasiru nan.
Ban iko a gurin al'umma in kai mata ne.
Sarki kare mana shi.
Waƙar gonan kyabi na shirya kai mai izini.
Allah ga Nasiru nan.
Jin kan kowa ban so in ba a jin kan kalikuwa.
Allah.
Rana sulu nan
Allah.
kare mana shi.
Ayyukan da kake mana gwamna ba mu ran musu ba.
Tsira da aminci ƙara gun wanda ya zan sanadi.
Allah ga Nasiru nan.
Yayye wanda kawa albar ko kila adadi.
Sarki kare mana shi.
Manzan da kasa aka haifa man da ta gaban lahadi.
Allah ga Nasiru nan.
Kuma yayi wa fati man da haiyo ba a cin masa ba.
Allah.
Rana suru nan
Allah.
kare mana shi.
Ayyukan da kake mana gwamna ba mu ran musu ba.
Ya Allah ga Nasiru nan magauta sun sa shi gaba.
Allah ga Surinam.
Ayyukan da yake mana su ko ba su so haka ba.
Sarki kare mana shi.
Su dai burin su samu ba.
Participants in this program, my colleague, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. You are welcome, as I have said earlier, to Kebbi State, the land of equity. Today, Tuesday, the 26th of November 2024 in Benin, Kebbi, for the stakeholders meeting. A one-day high-level technical and strategic workshop on the draft bill in Kebbi State to ensure that the perspective and challenges unique to Kebbi State are well presented in the formulation of this critical bill, which is organized by the Federal Ministry of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy in collaboration with Nigerian Digital Identification for Development, NDI4D. The bill, which is National Digital Economy and E-Governance, whereas, as I've said earlier, Duale Abia and Alex Adipe are the legal consultant and facilitators of the nationwide stakeholders engagement. This is an event which is nationwide event which is taking place throughout the country. On this note, I would like to invite the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Digital Economy, Kebbi State, to welcome invited guests here. Sir, you are welcome.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. The Honorable Commissioners present, especially Commissioner for Higher Education, Honorable Isa Bokatunga, all permanent secretaries here present, our guest from the Federal Ministry of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, especially Kayode Samuel Bakayode, who is representing my Honorable Minister, Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy to this important occasion. Jeffrey Mwalima, Duale Obia and Alex Adedife, law firm. Mr. David Patrick, Nigerian Digital Identification for Deployment Project, our civil society organizations, lecturers, ICT students from various institutions, network service providers who are here present, from MTN Office, Airtel, Globe, etc. Other invited guests, Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah, today we are going to present a very critical, a very important bill which names E-Governance Bill, which will be conducted here at Safar on the date of 26 November 2024. It is with great honor and a deep sense of responsibility that I stand before you today at this ministerial high-level workshop on the draft National Digital Economy and E-Governance Bill. This occasion signifies a pivotal moment in our collective journey toward leveraging technology for sustainable growth and inclusive governance. The emergence of the digital economy is not just a trend, but a profound transformation of global economic and governance system. In today's interconnected world, digital technologies are reshaping how we work, communicate, and govern. They have opened new frontiers of opportunities, and it is imperative that Nigeria, especially Kebbi State, position itself strategically to harness the the benefit of this digital bill. The scope of digital economy is vast, encompassing e-commerce, digital finance, virtual education, online health services, and much more. It has become a key driver of innovation, productivity, and economic growth worldwide. The digital economy presents enormous potential for economic diversification. It creates jobs, stimulates entrepreneurship, and provides a platform for businesses for scale beyond fiscal borders. In Nigeria, where the youth population is vibrant, this sector can generate millions of productive jobs and help lift communities out of poverty. Technology reduces barriers to market access for rural entrepreneurs, connecting them to local and global consumers. For Kebbi State, this could mean better integration of our agricultural products into broader market through e-commerce platforms. With digital tools, industries can automate processes, reduce costs, and enhance service delivery. This innovation is essential for sectors like healthcare, education, and agriculture, which are critical to Kebbi's economy. In governance, e-governance harnesses the application of information and communication technologies in public administration, which is a powerful tool for transforming government operations and improving service delivery. Digital systems allow for the automation of public services, reducing opportunities for corruption and ensuring transparency. By enabling real-time access to information, e-governance fosters trust between the government and its citizens. Through digital platforms, citizens can access government services without delays. Imagine a system where farmers in Kebbi can apply for subsidies, access resources, or resolve issues online, saving time and resources. Through digital platforms, e-governance ensures that services reach every citizen, even in the most remote areas. It bridges the gap between urban and rural communities, ensuring equity in governance. As we discuss the draft National Digital Economy and E-Governance Bill today, we must consider its implications for our local context. This bill will provide a robust legal and regulatory framework for harnessing the full potential of the digital economy while safeguarding data privacy and cyber security. Kebbi State Government, under the able leadership of Comrade Dr. Nasir Idris Arongondu, Horizontal Osmania, is committed to aligning with this national vision in line with the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. As a proactive government of Comrade Dr. Nasir Idris Arongondu, Horizontal Osmania, we have taken initial steps to digitalize processes through the Kebbi State website, Kebbi Investment Promotion Agency website, payment portals, e-procurement system, among others. We have also encouraged innovation by partnering with the Bank of Industry to establish the Kebbi Innovation and Tech Hub. In fostering digital literacy, we have carried out several training and workshops, such as STEAM education, training for kids, training of youth and women in digital skills, including basic literacy, software development, graphic design and data science, and for selected NDA staff on managing government services portal. However, there is much more to be done While the opportunities are immense, challenges such as inadequate infrastructure, cybersecurity threats, and digital literacy gaps must be addressed collaboratively. This workshop is a critical step in fostering dialogue and partnership to tackle these issues. The government of Dr. Nasir Idris Orangondu, Governor of Osmania, will continue to work with all stakeholders to expand broadband penetrations to rural communities in Kebbi, empower our youth with digital skills through training programs and partnership, and work with the private sector to drive innovation and investment. I urge everyone present here, policymakers, technocrats, and private sector leaders, to ensure that this bill reflects not only national aspiration, but also the unique needs of states like our dear state Kebbi. Together we can build an inclusive digital economy that leaves no one behind. Ladies and gentlemen, the digital economy and e-governance are not merely tools. They are enablers of prosperity and progress for Kebbi State and Nigeria as a whole. Embracing this technology means creating a future of innovation, inclusivity, and economic resilience. Let us use this workshop as a platform to chart a path forward, one that will reduce digital transformation to improve the lives of our people and ensure that our government systems are transparent, efficient, and equitable. Thank you, and I look forward to fruitful deliberations. God bless Kebbi State, God bless Nigeria.
The fact that everybody, every seat had something tangible to say, very strong feedback. Hearing from you means that me coming all the way to Kebbi State was not in vain. So I'm taking back something as I'm going. So thank you very much. I don't know if I should start from the table of our honorary commissioners and PAMSECs. So from
why would you choose to do that? Take from the best presenter.
Okay, let me just go back to group 6. Okay. Remind me, I would have loved to be responding as it was coming, but now I will have to read every comment before I respond. Yes. So, I know one of the first things you mentioned, group 6, I think you mentioned consolidation and monitoring of the process. So, that's a very good feedback. So let me put it that way. But first of all, I will always also say that there are procedures put out in the bill, right, for some of these things to be done, but depending on what you're discussing about now. But I'm as much as I feel like there's no, we can't get to the maximum of it. So another thing that we encourage is that if you have more feedbacks, you look at this bill critically, the area you want these methodologies and monitoring enforcement to be put in place, the areas, how you want it, the areas you want to fine tune it to. You can always send us to our mail. It will be taken and we'll get back to you. And if it is something that we don't need to get back to you, we'll just take your feedback and then implement it during the review. That will be welcome. And please, if you're putting your feedback, you can also put the state you're sending it from and your detail, maybe your name, whatever role you play in. Thank you. Then non-formal section adoption of the bill. Well, that's why we are putting out compliances out there. There are compliances that are going to be out there for you to follow. The process of these compliances, I don't think it has an end, basically. But like I said before, it's easier with this bill to apply for something like a license if these things are put in place. I know some months ago too, I think within this year, some licenses of CBN can be applied for online. Even NCC licenses can now be, some of them can now be applied online. These are like the roadmap to achieving this digital economy and e-governance. So we are getting there, and those are the processes that are already being put in place. Digital literacy. There's no limit to digital literacy, because this is something I hear everywhere I go. Digital literacy, especially the rural areas. Continuous engagement. I would say, first of all, let's leave the government aside. Each and every one of us, as a stakeholder, as an educated person, as a person with advanced knowledge of digital space, you have the responsibility to teach your neighbor, to teach the next person, or to reach out to the next person. So that's the first responsibility on each and every one of us, to teach someone in the society. So once you are able to teach someone, it reduces the number of people and keeps helping us to close this gap. So we'll keep engaging as much as we can. The government is doing a lot. Government is doing a lot on this, on illiteracy training and all that, closing the digital illiteracy space. But I also encourage every one of us to also teach someone, explain to someone, grow someone's confidence in the digital space. That will also go a long way. While the government keeps doing the general overview, like, you know, the federal government can only do something like this in the collaboration of the state government, and the state government will also progress in collaboration with the local government, and then the local government to the wards, and so on and so forth. Private and public partnership. Okay, so you mentioned private and public on information, sharing of information. Yes, so like I mentioned, I know a process that is ongoing right now where a group or a company is trying to get access to the NIMC portal, the CAC portal, and the FIRS portal. So these are serious database in Nigeria, if you know very well what they hold. These are very serious database. So this process is more of identification, verification process, and that's what they're doing. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that there are procedures that you must meet. There are things you have to meet for you to get this access. People are actually going through the process. People are making these applications and it's working. I know it's a bit slow, but by the time we have these processes online, it's easier for you to gain those licenses. So if you meet, I don't know if you have law offices around you, consultants, you can meet them, discuss with them. They will definitely give you access. If you really need more process, you can also reach out to us. We'll give you more understanding on how you can get it. So there are processes, there are procedures to get these things, and it's in place. It's just probably access to them as at now has not been made very simple. It's just like startup law. There is a law that is a startup law, which has been passed since. A lot of people have not gotten the startup status. A startup status helps you not pay some taxes, and also helps the government to give you some incentives. But a lot of people are not accessing it because they don't really understand what it is and what it takes. So these are the things that are going to be supposed to be put out there, and then through the digital means you can easily apply for this. But right now I can tell you, for you to get such thing, you have to go through a very long process, and then whoever is going to help you get it, you have to pay a lot of money. So these days you can have a software developer. Before we won't have a software developer. So now there are software developers, there are digital marketers, there are different jobs that this digital space has created. I don't even think we've been able to fill it up. So how much can it take from us? So more digital knowledge, more digital training, more things are coming up, and then we can play in a lot of places. A very few Nigerians play in the space where they can stay in Nigeria and work abroad. These things are happening. You can play in that space. You can become a developer. You can become front end, back end, middle end, whichever one, or a full stack. you can become a full stack, whichever one. So at the end of the day, you'll be able to earn in dollar and all that. So this is not coming to take away your job, sincerely. This is actually coming to help you. So imagine you have good internet space. I know a friend that lost an international job because there was no good internet. They kept complaining, oh, your internet is not good, we can't have a meeting with you, and then all of a sudden they said, we can't continue with this transaction. So somebody mentioned also registering of business. This is group 7. I was even surprised hearing registration of business because people have a senior lawyer in your midst. So, but registration of business is not hard at all. It's not a hard process. You can always reach out to, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to my office, you can reach out to a lawyer. They will help you. I mean, if you even reach out to me with the right documentation, I can stay outside there and register you. It's not that hard. The only thing you need to pay are the regulatory fees that you need to pay, and then you're up and running. You have your everything.
Seeing how things are done in other developed nations, and I'm sure that what we're about to do is a replica of what we must have appreciated in other nations. So first, this is to say this bill is supposed to be a continuation of what has already been established, because I'm saying this from the knowledge of the National Information Technology Development Agency. As at last month or 2 months ago, there was this kind of meeting in Abuja, and then it involved key stakeholders and other relevant agencies as far as this issue is concerned. So, and on that platform, a lot was discussed. Alhamdulillah, Kebbi State happened to be one of the 12 pilot states, because it's a pilot project and it's a digital literacy for all. I don't know whether you have met some core members, corpers, coming to teach you about how to do one or two in this community in Kebbi State. So that is a strategic partnership from NITDA, and I am the community manager for Kebbi State. So hearing about this project, it has given me an insight to come for this. And now I'm asking, we are very, very concerned about the methodologies for the monitoring and evaluation as far as whatever we discuss here is concerned. Because it's not enough for us to come here, we talk, and everybody go away. And that's why I'm happy that we have representatives from the government who will, have the first-hand information as a take-home to the governor and other concerned officials. So the methodology for monitoring and evaluation, and then enforcement, because enforcement is very important. When somebody staying in Badaria, a student, and then is schooling in Waziri Polytechnic, just imagine the distance. Coming to school every day for a week. You know how much is that? So now, you advise a lecturer, why can't you just organize a virtual class for your students where you have a schedule, everybody come online, then you meet. Possibly you can do your test online. They can only come to the school for exams. How about that? But there are some lecturers that if they see this aspect of this bill, they will look at it, or no, if a student, even maybe assuming the class rep will now suggest this now, it will now look like you are challenging the lecturer, or they'll feel too big to adopt your opinion. So all of these things is a well-recognized bill. So we should try as much as possible to ensure that all of these things are taken into consideration. Then the aspect of okay, so I'm rounding up now. So the aspect of corporate social responsibility, I also want this bill to capture corporate social responsibility. The government is trying, and the government cannot do everything alone. We must admit that in the US, the private sector contributes largely to their economy, and that is the same thing in Nigeria. So if we have investors or people who have businesses in Kebbi State or corporate organizations, what are their contributions to the economy of this state? These people should be factored into, so that in terms of implementation, if we see that we are failing in having the implementation of this bill because the government alone is not doing enough, let's focus our attention on the CSR, the corporate social responsibility. Then finally, the aspect of considering our feedback here. I am appealing that as much as possible, if you find any of this feedback not to be suitable to the standard of your organization or in line with your objectives, please, we also expect your feedback. If there is a way we can, probably is a communication challenge, we can filter it more in a manner that you understand it better and then comprehend to do the needful. Thank you very much.
That's a very wonderful presentation by Group 6 representative. Okay.
Thank you, Group 6. Thank you so much.
You want to be responding every stage?
Yes, I'll try to get all of take all the questions.
Yes, I answer them back.
All right. So let me just sit down and then talk.
So we are giving you 3 minutes now. 3 minutes for each group. Next group is group 7. No, let's go for group 7, please. I would like to invite Kabir Hassan for group 7. Next is group 3.
Good afternoon all. I would like to stand on the existing protocol. Our discussion here today, ours will be basically restricted to Kebbi State alone. Let's be sincere with ourselves. Sincerely speaking, the gathering we are having here today for 2-3 hours is not enough for us to come up with conclusion on this digital bill. So what we are saying here and proposing here, although I had a presenter say that this bill are coming in phases. So for Kebbi State, we need to have a committee that will sit down, digest this bill very well, totally, then we'll come out with a report so that it will not go against our norms and values of the state. That's the first point of observation. Then secondly, again, the level of literacy penetration, I'm talking about digitally here, for Kebbi State, sincerely speaking, is low. For us to accept these kind of digital bill, there must be level of awareness among the people of Kebbi State. This bill is for us. We have to benefit from it, so we have to know it. If you don't know it, there is no way we can understand it, make use of it, and otherwise. So there must be high level of sensitization, creating some workshops, and all of that, so that at least this knowledge or this digital bill will get to the remote places like Otono and other villages we have. So, and again, also, Kebbi State is an agricultural state, no doubt about it. And how far and how much more are we trying to engage our farmers with respect to these bills? For instance, I know of a website that's majorly used in China. You can have your phone, just snap the soil of the location. The app will tell you what is best fit for that soil. Will it be rice? Will it be oranges? And all of that. So those are advanced stages anyway. However, for Kebbi's level and standard, we have to engage our farmers. We have to empower them. The farming we are having in Kebbi, sincerely speaking, are not large-scale farming. They are not. It can't take us anywhere, sincerely speaking. Forget about the politics and otherwise. It won't take us anywhere. So we have to find a way of having large-scale farming in Kebbi. And with that, we have to digitalize the farming system. Then also the presenter also made mention of quote and unquote bigger fishes swallowing smaller fishes. Sincerely speaking, a lot of us see it as a threat. Probably some people might think with digital economy coming or digital bill coming, some people's jobs might be at stake. We might be right or wrong. So for that, we need better clarification that yes, this bill is only coming to enhance our work, to optimize our work, not to take our job away from us. So that is that. Then lastly, we have some small and medium scale businesses in Kebbi, a lot of them. Sadly enough, most are not registered. If they are not registered, how do we assess and see their challenges? So we need to get all these SMEs in Kebbi registered so that we can see how far we can support them. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Next group is group 3.
I will go straight to the observation we had. Mostly is on security and data privacy, as well as issue of implementation. Number one, when it comes to security, we are generally going to talk about policies, standards, and procedures. But then, what support would this bill provide to ensure under-resourced institutions and organizations complies? Secondly, I have scanned through the bill, or we have scanned generally as a group. The bill, we do not see where the bill captures or talks about people with disabilities. Another thing, when it comes to data privacy and security, I know we have existing EU GDPR, as well as the Nigerian NDPR. But there should be clear guidelines on how our data should be protected and how our data should be completely anonymized. Because we are talking about transparency, in government and other sectors. Again, when it comes to issue of compliance, how will the government ensure these standards and policies are being complied with? And then we talk about the issue of electronic document in our courts. One thing we did not see is what are the, let's say, measures to make sure that a certain document presented has not been altered. That's how will the bill ensure integrity in the document presented. And I am happy that we have our fathers here, the honorable commissioners and permanent secretaries here, because we are talking about Kebbi State. I think when it comes to security, no matter how robust and secure a system is, humans are the weakest links. I think we need to have regular security trainings and awareness here in Kebbi State to ensure our people here do not fall victim of these online scams. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The last but not the least group is Group 1. It's led by Alaji Aliu Dauda Zaga, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Digital Economy. Sir, you should come and present.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم babu ruwan ganin da sabina
MC, point of correction before you talk. It's not only Aliu Dauda. There should be a initial of FCNA and FCINT. The Fellow Chartered Association of Accountants and also the Fellow Chartered Institute of Taxation.
Thank you for the compliment. It's okay. Having heard from various groups, let me appreciate everybody on the basis of their efforts. However, I think I will summarily consolidate all the submissions made and then maybe find a stand on behalf of the government and the institutions that we feel should be key players to this bill. First of all, I'll talk on behalf of the group. Though the group has been very heavy for me, I should be the most junior person to have escorted them, but they forced me to come and stand before you. Right. The group made the following submissions. we have agreed part of this bill, for it to pass and have a smooth running in the economy, there must be a robust literacy gap coverage. If people are able to have enough knowledge of what it entails, from maybe the digital, the analog to digital, to what we are talking about today as a bill to protect them, I think that would have been the primary assignment that the government and other agencies that are key players to this should take upon themselves. Secondly is the provision of the infrastructure, where the technology itself, before the digital economy system moves, is the fiber and the satellites that are involved in providing these infrastructures. Now I'm talking about Galaxy backbone and maybe the Nicon sats. These people will play a very vital role in making this bill a reality by providing their own services to enhance the smooth running of the digital exercises, particularly transactions and other related matters. Then maybe after having successful presentation and adoption of the bill, as well as the passage, then, like somebody has said, I think the last speaker before I came, is the cyber security, which is very, very important. And I think whatever you have, forget about just picking your phone and calling someone. Of course, not the only service provider is monitoring you, including those who are having handset of your own kind. How are you going to be protected from an individual that is just nearby, not to talk of the service provider that monitors every single letter you voice out? Then maybe the responsibility of making this a reality should not be allowed to shoulder on the government alone. Key players in the economy, like the companies, the banks, the institutions, everybody have to key into this process so that we can have a successful operation of this bill after passage. Let me downstep to Kebbi State. We are all aware our governor has the commitment. As you can see, within the few days this invitation came to us, he was approached and he felt this is an issue not to forego. And as well, he played his own part by making the Honorable Commissioners, Permanent Secretaries, Members, House of Assembly have also partake in this process so that Kebbi State's interests, like the presenter made a statement that we must be represented looking at the location and the nature of our people. At well, the other person was also saying people living with disabilities are not mentioned. I think if I have a telephone set, this is made for everybody, irrespective of whoever is using it. And for that, I think there is nothing special in people living with disability to be considered as a separate entity or separate part of this movement. Therefore, everybody is carried along. Finally, let me call on the presenter that the literacy gap, the infrastructure, the cyber security, and the institutional contributions to the passage of this bill is going to be the best and maybe the highest the state and the federal government through the Federal Ministry of Communication and Ministry of Digital Economy in Kebbi State will appreciate and will come to stand. Thank you very much. That's my name.
Thank you very much, sir, for your contribution.
Research and art. personally, as someone that is from the private sector, it's actually a very, very good one when it comes to seeing our contributions in such kind of art. So specifically for my group, where we would actually want to contribute more, where we want to give our feedback is in terms of consumer protection. So looking at the bill, I didn't see maybe more emphasis being traced there, and one of the issues in which my group was actually more specific was about in terms of consumer disputes, in terms of both consumers and more especially private sectors, when it comes to issues of bank loans and other issues that has to do with resolving disputes that has to do with these two sectors. Then also in terms of managing governmental records, I think that is also another issue that we are looking at in terms of how do we as individuals or private individuals. So my group is specifically pointing towards how private individuals are contributing to most of these issues. So in terms of private individuals contributing to governmental or participating in governmental, I just feel like to some extent that issue also was not fully or emphasized. So if there is a way in which it can be more emphasized so that we can actually get to know more, I think that is just the major two issues that we were able to want to look at, and at least we would actually need more information in terms of that aspect. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel. Next group is Group 2 by Malam Bashar Tukur Shehu.
And they have contribution towards the build-up of this bill. And I pray whatever is being contributed should be in the interest and the protection of our country, Nigeria. Secondly, let me also appreciate the organizations and the institutions that honored these invitations, like, let me talk of my house, Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, Nigerian Bar Association, people living with disabilities, MTN, service providers, and all other institutions and individuals that took to themselves and sacrificed their time and attended this workshop. On behalf of Kebbi State Government, again, we appreciate everybody and pray everybody will go to his destination safely and happily. Assalamu alaikum. We appreciate you all.
Thank you very much, the Permanent Secretary. We have come to the end of this program, inshallah. I would like to invite let me say, well.
Please permit me to stand for the existing protocol. I'm asked to come and air up my goodwill message, and let me first of all start by saying good morning all. As we gather to promote the National Digital Economy and E-Governance Bill in Kebbi State, I am reminded of the past opportunities that digital transformation can bring to our communities. This bill represents a significant step towards harnessing the power of technology to drive economic growth, improve public services delivery, and enhance the overall quality of life for our citizens. The National Digital Economy and E-Governance Bill aims to create a competitive environment for the Nigerian digital economy, drive economic growth through digital technology, and improve public service delivery. With the bill's focus on digital governance, we can expect to see improved transparency, accountability, and efficiency in government services. In Kebbi State, we have already seen the impact of digital technologies on our economy. For example, the use of digital platforms has enabled our farmers to access new markets, improve their yields, and increase their incomes. Similarly, our students have benefited from online learning sources which have helped to improve their academic performance all across the state. As we move forward with the implementation of this bill, I urge all stakeholders to work together to ensure its success. Let us harness the power of technology to build a brighter future for conserves our children and our community. Thank you very much.
As the doctor has said, our own observation here is the bill. Inside the bill, they have discussed a lot, but what we observe is that there is one aspect that they're supposed to discuss, which is to point out the importance of the bill to the rural dwellers, because our rural dwellers, they don't have any access to this digital economy. So it is good, it's very important to have more sensitization, more enlightenment of the bill or of the digital economy, for people to know what is the importance of this digital to their societal progress. Because we need to have, as we all know, that Kebbi State is an agricultural state. So we did agriculture, we farm. So our farmers are supposed to have access to this, to the knowledge of digital economy. Because once you don't have knowledge, you will not have access to all this digital economy that we enter now. Secondly, we observe that there is need to have infrastructure in the sense that to provide computers or knowledge of these computers from the grassroots, that is from primary school. Let our students, let our children have access to the computers, to have knowledge on computers. Because when they have knowledge on computers from primary school to secondary school, when you go to the university, then you know the importance of this economy that we enter now, because it's a new generation that we are. Thirdly is that one challenge is the digital economy is to have access to the sensitization of digital economy to the people. And this is very important, because when we know the digital economy, then we will have our economy, our development will progress. Thank you, and God bless.
Go straight to our points. I think it's a valid observation raised just now. Some of our things that have been mentioned, really, they're supposed to come under question and answer and observations. There are some things that have been mentioned by the two. I'm sorry to, I'm not saying they are doing bad. What is supposed to be is that under questions, observations, and answers should come all these kind of points that have been mentioned. We're supposed to talk straight to what's in the bill. So please, I just want to mention one item that's on part 3. We're able to realize in our own session the difference between digital and electronics. It's a layman terms, really. All of us, we may think that, yes, electronics and digital are the same. But really, they are different. Electronics is a general term, it's a broad term. So on this part 3, it says electronic signature. Especially if you talk to the law agency, you know, this item is a bill to be taken to court. So we have to give a difference between digital and what we call electronics. So on this item, really, we feel the general, it says part 3, electronic signatures. Then it comes to item number 17, it says digital electronics. Digital signature. So we feel
it should carry electronics, not digital. Because there are different two items. If you have to take it to the court, they will give a different interpretation that digital, it is something else, while electronic is something else. So please try to take correction on that. So we have item number A. It says a digital should try to have a link to a unique to the person using that kind of document or whatever. So I feel we should add something also. Whatever is there as a system should also have a unique link to a document. Though I have seen something here, it's a link to the electronic record. Yes, record is something, a database or something like that. But what we are now suggesting, there should be also a unique link. That digital signature should have a link to documents, not only a person, not only a database. So thank you. That is only our own suggestions. Thank you.
Investigating in wannan doka ya sutin ɗinta ba tare da ta yi violating wannan national
Honorable member of the State Council, Chairman of one-page stakeholders engagement on e-governance and digital economy engagement in the states. How can you describe this bit, and what effort is the State Assembly making to ensure this
These parliamentarians will have very much interest in how governance is how funds when you talk about digital government, it is a process whereby in electronic way, systems are being allocated, processes are being followed, funds are being managed. So this will ease the administration. This will ease the transaction in terms of the funds. So it is a welcome idea. We are solely behind the National Assembly because we believe that if documents are being passed into law, it will ease the government. Thank you.
abubuwa waɗanda aka su ba da ya kamata a shigar da su don su musamman su shiga su ba da su gudunmuwa da wannan lalura wanda idan muka duba wasu abubuwa da ake yi na a jihar Kebbi da girman gwamna ya ware da ko biyar ciki kan haka ne wannan ma'aikata da samu muka kuma ya wasu ne ba su wani samu sauki ga wannan doka da ake so gabatar da kuma a shiga kuma muna tabbacin da insha Allah za ta tabbacin da zan ba mutane da gwamnati ta sani cewa sabon kuma ta kama na jihar Kebbi wanda da girma gwamnati da nasu da sauran gwamnati ta ba kuma insha Allah wanda za mu wannan kuma saboda za mu tabbatar cewa lambobinmu daga lokacin da 21 da wuce mu tabbatar da cewa suna da rajista da kodin
So let the brand put it down. No, okay. So Sergio,
Hasan. Mun karkar ya kina. Ina wuce da ina magana da. Ina wuce da magana da.
issue to be well implemented all over the state.
Good.
Very, very the bill goes smoothly. You can see the bill, the bill for e-government. So that is what we need. That is what the world is now. If you see the era of using, taking files from one place to another is almost gone. The era of using paper come to be paperless. The era of using traditional way of governing is gone. Gone. We are now in the digital era. We are lucky we have the digital governor who is ready, who is committed to digitalize the Kebbi State.
I want to smell.
Thank you.